Good evening, Leo, my friend. How are you? Give me 1 second. I'm just trying something out here. Like this. Just putting this chat where I kind of like it. How is life, Leo? How is everything? How is life serving you? Yeah. I've been at Google whole day. Yeah. We had some meeting there. It was actually pretty nice day. It was a pretty nice day. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it can get worse as well, right? It can get worse as well. So depends how you look at it, right? So yeah. Yeah, I've been to Google offices today. We went to took a look at APIG basically. So I went today. So we basically went to yeah. We had a whole day kind of. So I met those guys from APG and they presented the API management gateway, right? So it was pretty interesting. It was a nice day. It was a nice day. I've been there until 2 p.m. Then I got home, did a bit of work, and then yeah, now I'm here. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, let's get back into work. So yeah. So for today, yeah, we need to kind of continue where we stopped. And yeah, just keep on building this UI so we can finalize this feature as soon as we can, right? So let's kind of continue, right? So basically last night I think we stopped somewhere around here, right? And yeah, this is what we want to do. So we want to enable this adding of lectures now and then of sections, and then so let's maybe yeah, I mean you're gonna be the one of the first ones to be using this feature anyway, right? So you're not gonna miss out. But I actually sat after the stream and just did some of the stuff, right? So just been playing with it, right, out of excitement. All right, so with that said, let's kind of continue where we stopped, right? So so yeah. Yeah, okay, so let's see where we actually stopped. So we had a single course view, right? Yeah, so this is where we kind of stopped. Let's zoom in a bit. What the hell happened there? Give me 2 seconds. Okay, one moment. Just want to make sure that my chat stays in place. Okay, great. So yeah, this is where we stopped with some boilerplate stuff, right? And handle section click, handle lecture click, right? So what I'm actually going to do when we click on the lecture, I'm going to pass in the section as well that lecture is part of, right? And let's just do a bit of stuff here. So li font blah blah blah. So here we're going to say class name. Let's say give me 2 seconds. Let me just put this microphone actually like this. So we're gonna say hover text indigo, I don't know, 500 or something like that, right? Let's get back here, and that should have been a hover, but it wasn't. And not really what I wanted, is it? No. Wait, li section. Yeah, so actually instead of doing that, right, let's move this fella and let's put it kind of here, right? And then we can get rid of that. And then let's continue with functionality. So we're gonna have that just as an indicator, right? And then I don't know why is that a button, but let me just try here. So that's okay, right? And Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, that's a bit sad. That's a bit sad, but that's how it is. That's how it is. That's pretty much how it is. What can you do, right? Okay, so let's just do those super tiny things, and then we kind of let's build the feature up. So another thing that I maybe want to have, right, is some sort of a edit icon, right, on hover or whatever. So let's try to say, actually no, let's not waste time on that. So we have an indicator now that you can actually click on those things, and that's fine. So let's continue where we stopped last night, right? So let's activate this, right? So based on what you click on, we want to render a specific form, right? So essentially, in simple words, we're gonna have, let's define few forms, right? We should technically have those already, so we should be using the existing ones from here. Create lecture, right? Yeah. I mean, it's Twitch is not the most mature place to be. So don't take it personally, right? It's you know, age in today's time doesn't mean maturity at all anymore, right? A person can be 30 or 50 and they can still behave like a little idiot, right? Like complete morons, right? So unfortunately, there's very little correlation anymore between age and experience or maturity or anything like that, right? How dare you ask rational questions, Leo? That's not what we do here. That's not what we do here, right? Okay, so we're gonna obviously reuse the same forms. So so let's obviously we will not differentiate between, right, the creation and editing, right? So that would make no sense, right? So in simple words, right, we want to make sure, so let's not call those things create course. Let's call it a course form, right? Let's literally just suffix it with form, right? Lecture form, right? And then lastly, what was it? Let's call this one section form, right? And then we're gonna use this both to edit and to create, like the section form, right? And that is pretty cool. This is still compiling, and that's all great, right? So now obviously we want to have this simple switch statement or if statement, whatever you prefer, right? And we're gonna say, hey, based on the entity that you clicked on, well, then that is the form we want to render. So in simple words, right? Hopefully if this actually ends up rendering. Let's see, it doesn't like something components from, okay, so I guess if we go to courses, to the other view, so here we basically have this fella, right? So, and that's kind of, so this should be now course form, right? So it's kind of complaining about, that we didn't rename the imports, right? Should be finish now, right? Let's try, maybe. So now what we have to do basically is, as we click on different entities, right? If we click on a section, then we want to render the section form. If we click on a lecture, we want to obviously render the lecture form, right? So it's pretty simple, as simple as that, right? Cyber, good evening, my friend. I'm pretty good. Been a bit on some meetup today at the Google offices here in Copenhagen, and then did a bit of work, and been with my kid and my wife and my mother-in-law, and now I'm just started streaming a few minutes ago, maybe 10 minutes ago. So you're right in time, just in time. Okay. So cool. So let's kind of do this stuff now. So if we go back here, right, let's render those things. So let's see, can we actually get some entity or something? So when I click on something, right, we know what it actually is, right? Well, actually we do. It's just, okay, where is it? Handle section click. Depends which one you're referring to, David. Yes, most of the fields are saved as JSON, and tip-tap content is stringified JSON. So it's saved as string, and then it's parsed as the state to the editor to JSON, right? But what you save in your database is a string. You cannot really save a JSON object like that in a database, right? You could technically use some JSON, JSONB in Postgres, but generally, no. Okay, so, well, we maybe will not need handle entity click, but let's see, what did we do last night? So on click, handle section click, right? Handle lecture click, right? So, we can do this in many ways, right? We can do it in a clever way, just have one handler that figures out what you clicked on, right? So let's maybe, right? Yeah, I got pretty much rid of everything. Yeah, I don't really need it. Yeah, I got rid of everything, right? I mean, sometimes I just hide the tabs as well, right? Okay, so let's actually handle this in kind of a clever way, if I may, right? So let's just say here. So instead of having multiple handlers like this, right? Let's actually use this thing. Yeah. So here we're gonna have the type that you clicked on, and then you're gonna have some options, right? Let's see how we want to do it, right? So I'm actually gonna go over here, and we're gonna say, okay, I'm gonna say handle entity clicked. It's gonna be a section, and then here we can just pass the section like this, right? And I'm gonna do the same, right, for the other thing. So here, I don't actually know what I copy pasted. Let's try that once again. And this is gonna be a lecture, right? And then here we're gonna pass both we're gonna pass both the lecture and section, right? So we know, right? Cool. So if we go now here, right? So this is gonna be entity, right, or whatever you wanna call it, right? I don't actually care. And then here we're gonna have entity. So we're gonna say, you know, if entity is, section, right? Then, sorry, if entity is section, then, you know, let's just print the end. So we're gonna do the both, and if entity is lecture, we'll also print this, right? The only difference is that here for the lecture, we're gonna know the context of. Thank you very much, Leo. Thank you very much. So in this context, we're gonna know both section and lecture, because we need to send that to our API, right? So if we get back over here, right, let's see if that little thing works. Let's go over here, and yeah, if we click on a section, we just get the section in that options, right? In those options, if we click on an actual lecture that belongs to that section, right? Yeah, so that's great. That's great. Okay, good. So now we have that, right? And yeah, well, what do we want to do? Well, yeah, that's up to us now, obviously, right? We can maybe set some state and render some form based on the state, right? So for example, every time you click, well, that's probably what we're gonna do, or maybe we don't even really need it, right? Maybe we can say based on the selected lecture, or no, well, probably, yeah. So const, let's say here, entity, we're gonna obviously let's play with this now, and then we're gonna figure out if it makes sense or not, obviously, right? But in simple words, right? I don't actually think that we need it, because didn't I create an effect yesterday about this? Yes, set selected lecture. Yeah, exactly. So let's not introduce another state variable. We can maybe just use this existing one. So let's actually, this is misleading, right? Because not only lecture could be selected, right? It can be more than that, right? So that's kind of misleading, right? So let's just say here, set selected, right? Make it slightly generic, right? And then selected, right? Yep. So let's just make sure this still renders, right? So when I come to a course, right, we render the first yeah, we render the first lecture of the first section. That's what I made, right? Okay, that's fine, right? Okay, now just give me 2 seconds. Let me just think about the best way we do this so it's clean and nice. Yeah, so this for sure is not gonna, like, we will for sure not need this. We can actually, I might just take this part, right? But we'll see about that, right? But I think we're gonna need preview or something like that. But for now, we'll actually not need this. Instead, we will basically just render something based on the selected thing. So do we have the course? Do you have the section selected, or do you have, right? So we need to kind of handle that somewhere, right? So where is it? Over here, right? So here we can say, you know, and then this can be an object maybe, right? So we can say here, we can actually literally just say type, and let's have some default state lecture, and then date. Yeah, I like that. Great, I like that. Sure. That's great. Sure, I actually like that a lot. Yeah. And then when this effect loads, right, when you just come to a course, right, what we can actually do here, we can just say, hey, knock knock, Sako, my dear friend. Then we're gonna do something like this, right? This should still kind of work now. Like if I come here, it should, well, this is now gone, obviously, and that's perfectly fine. And of course, all of this stuff is broken now because it's no longer like that. Sako subscribed. What a mistake. He's making the same mistake for how many months? 5 months. Never learn. Alexa, open the door. Okay, so great. So now, basically, when we click here, we're gonna say, you know, set selected, obviously, right? And yeah, perfect, right? And then pretty much the same here, right? Yeah, so that's one of the things we obviously want to do right now. Having that as such, right? We don't really maybe even need this, right? We can just yeah. It is the default theme, yes. It is dark plus V2 experimental. So yeah, so it's definitely the default. Okay, so great, so cool. So that's pretty cool. And let's just yeah, what is it called? Yeah, let's just yeah, let's so let's say here, you know, if selected dot data, right? And let's just yeah, let's do something, right? My pleasure, man. My pleasure. It's a lot of people asking, so yeah, absolutely. And then here we're gonna say, let's just make it work, right? So selected type lecture. Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much what we want. Let's just make sure it works, and then we're gonna start rendering the appropriate form. So we're gonna say lecture form here, right? And then let's see if this guy is gonna be intelligent enough to know. It's not. Okay. Well, oh yeah. So course, right? And course form goes here, right? Something like that, I assume, if we didn't mess stuff up, right? All right, so we did mess. This should be section, right? My bad. Sorry. Let's try that again, and let's refresh. And yeah. So that's great. That's great. Okay, good. So perfect. So next thing, obviously, is like we don't need to do it like this. We can do this in a we can you know we can have another function somewhere around here. Let's just call it const render form or something like that, right? This can take the actual, you know, type, right? Whatever. Select a type. We can break on that, right? So we minimize the amount of JSX and you know, interpolation and stuff inside of the, because it gets very convoluted, right? So let's say render form. We say switch, and then we switch in the type that's selected, if any, right? Then we're gonna say section, yeah. And then we're gonna say section form, right? Yeah. And then we'll have to give it some props, obviously, and stuff. Same here, right? It's gonna be lecture form, and then return, well, and then default, right? Return break, whatever. I'll much rather just return null. All right, cool. And then happy long weekend to you, Alex, my friend, as well. And then over here we can get rid of this gibberish right here, and then we can just say, hey, you know, just render the form for now, and we'll see how this looks like. And then here we're gonna, yeah, that's pretty much it, right? So this is not really Zen mode, but to some extent it is, yeah, right? If you press F11 in your, give me 1 second here. Yeah, and now it's complaining that the form is missing, and that's perfectly fine, right? That's perfectly fine, I think. Let me now just think about let me just think about this for 2 seconds. So that's all kind of good, right? That's all fine. The only thing basically we'll need now is we're gonna need to give those forms the state itself, right? So as we click around, we need to pass the state down, right? And yeah, exactly, right? So yeah. Give me 2 seconds. Let me just take a look. Didn't we at one point, like a day or two ago, when we started building this, didn't we like... Maybe we didn't, okay. I thought that we had some sort of a schema already created in the front end, right? But it doesn't seem to be the case. Okay, well, that's what it is. That's how it is. What can we do, right? So, okay, let's now also kind of figure it out. What would happen if we would try to localize that form there? Well, that doesn't make sense, right? Or maybe it does, right? So okay, so let's try... I wish it was that. No, we went to Google Offices today to just take a look at some presentation of a new product they're releasing, right? It's an API gateway in their Google Cloud platform. It's called the APG. Okay, so let's kind of get here, and let's try to, so instead of, so we need to potentially get some state passed to this if it's an update, right? So, and I think we can do that. So let's actually not pass the form. So let's actually find the lecture form, for example, just so we can kind of, right? So that this is all fine, right? Handle create. Maybe we can even localize that here. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But okay, so let's do some stuff here. So let's say const and so let me use my custom hook here. So form is use form, right? And yeah, we need to give it some initial state and some schema, right? So what does this have? So this has a title, which is going to be empty by default. It has title, course ID, section ID. So I guess course ID is going to be, let's just say 0. Section ID is going to be like 0 or something, right? image URL is going to be empty string. Let's just define the empty state. Video URL is going to be this. And then, yeah, we have the tip tap thing, right? So we're going to have the content, which let's try setting it to empty string as well, right? And then here we're going to need the actual schema for it, right? So let's go maybe to our API, right? Let's go to the API because this is isomorphic, right? So let's go to here, let's go to courses, let's go to schema, right? And let's find get course. What are we looking for? We're looking for lectures schema, right? Yes, yes. And where is the body? So lecture, get lecture schema, lecture body schema. So this is the schema, right? So we can technically copy this from our API and just smack it in an kind of isomorphic way in our front end, because we're using the same validation library, right? So that is the beauty. So title, this, and then yeah. So actually, we're not going to be passing section, and here we're going to passing that instead as a URL parameter, right? So we're only going to pass title, image URL, video URL, and content, right? And then only those two are required. So that's okay-ish, right? And then so depending if this is an edit or create, right? Then will really depend on what this becomes. Because if it's an update, then so basically let's create another function somewhere here. Let's call it const get initial state, right? And then yeah, it's gonna be pretty simple. It's gonna either be this, or we're gonna say, you know, if data I mean, yeah, I mean, we don't really need to destructure that, right? So let's just return data, right? So meaning, yeah, if there's a prop passed to the form, it's an update, it's not a create, so use that, otherwise set the empty state, right? So, and we forgot the return statement, right? So let's kind of do this, and then let's get over here. And then that should be fine-ish, right? Let's see what the hell do we have here. That's still compiling. So what if we would yeah. And what the hell is this shitty music, man? If it can even be cold music, it's like, all right, that's better. Okay. All right, cool. So what did I want to do? Oh yeah. So if we go back here, so we are kind of exploding, and that's okay. Let's see, what did we do last in the course thing? Cannot access form before initialization. Create lecture. Ah, I see. Create lecture, and then those file names are also wrong, right? Let's call it lecture form. Let's call this one course form, and then let's call this one, just while we're here, section form, right? Something like that, and that's perfectly fine. Do we have to know? I think it's fine. And I basically complained about this, so let's put this down, and let's see what's happening now. And yeah, it's not for some reason, right, updating the imports automatically. That kind of sucks ass, right? That's actually good. Lecture form. Courses, components, forms, course, indexes. Let's try to restart that, right? I see. Okay, well, that kind of sucks, right? Okay. That's what it is. Views, course, yeah. So let's update those things. So this should be course form, lecture form. So for some reason, yeah, nah, it actually is fine now. It doesn't seem to be saved, right? So Okay, so save, save, and save, right? So that's why I thought that we had auto save on, right? But whatever. All right, what the hell is it now? Sure, sure, because yeah, fine, fair enough, right? So we kinda, yeah, okay, so we do have to have those as well, okay. Because we are expecting those as part of the URL parameter, so this thing is now complaining about it a bit, right? So let's say section ID and course ID right here, and so that should kind of fix it almost, right? Apart from, yeah, this is gonna be a bit too dirty, right? So we're not gonna do it this way, I suppose. Yeah, we actually don't need this because we will know the context of where you are. So section and course ID, we actually don't need that here. That we will know based on the context where you are, right? So I think we're almost fine there. So okay, so we did render the form for the lecture now. So you can see now we are actually rendering that lecture form. And we're gonna fiddle here with our tip tap, like what's available here and what not, like one of those actions, right? So let's do the same, obviously, for the other form as well. So we have the section, right? We have this fella already, right? So we can kind of, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate it very much. I don't know why it's, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna do the same, right? So we're gonna pretty much copy paste the same gibberish that we have here, right? And we're gonna move it right here. So pretty much identical stuff, nothing mind-blowing. We're gonna import data here. We're gonna auto import this fella, right? And then we're gonna go to our API and just get the section response, probably a section body schema, right? So this is how our body looks like, right? Generally, if I wasn't using this in isomorphic way, meaning two same libraries in both ends, I would go to my Swagger, obviously, right? And I would check my schema there. But since I'm using the same code in both ends, technically I don't need to do that, right? So this is great. So we have that. We have title, description, and order. Order, do we really need order? That's a bit silly. I think we're gonna have to remove that and make the API do that. But okay. Okay, cool. And so here we're gonna have title, description. Yeah, this is quite funny. How am I? Okay, we'll see. But I don't think we're gonna be doing that. It doesn't make any sense, right? Thank you very much, Sako. I'm waiting for you to get officially married already, man, so you can come back and help me build it. He's putting his life and his wife in front of this side project. Unacceptable. Okay, cool. So if we go back down here somewhere, I suppose, right? We have this render form, we have lecture form, and we have section form. So let's see what's happening here. I mean, exactly. Why even have a real life? Unacceptable, right? State course ID. Okay, so we actually don't need this, right? So that's yeah, so that is the issue, right? So we don't really need that. And yeah, here we go, right? So that's pretty much what we need. Just those two forms for now, for the section and the lecture. Let's actually just go back here for 2 seconds and check out one thing. Yeah, it's a bit strange though that, give me 2 seconds. Okay, well, that's a bit strange, right? But whatever. Cassie, my friend, good evening. Not much, man. Just hacking away with the features, building courses feature now. Yeah, not much to say, my friend. Not much. I hope everything's good on your end as well. Hope everything's good on your end as well. And of course, thank you as always for coming by, man. All right, cool. So now when we click on different things, we see different things, right? Obviously, the UI still sucks ass, but that's not what we're focusing on. We, as before, we're focusing primarily on the what is it called? The functionality, right? And then the last step, as always, sounds good, my friend. Sounds good. As always, we're gonna obviously do the styling and all of that fancy stuff later. For now, it's absolutely irrelevant, right? All right, so let's try this assumption that we have. Let's actually go to over here. Thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it. Give me 1 second. Actually, it's very strange. 2 seconds. No, that's not what I wanted at all. Give me 1 second. Looking at the other screen. What the hell is going on? That's not what I wanted. Ah, found it. Give me 2 seconds. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Okay, and this is also what I want. Okay, great, awesome. Okay, good. So let's continue. So we're passing this data now. Here, let's actually see if we are passing it, right? We should be passing it, right? So let's see what we actually pass in here. So if I click on a lecture, right? This is part. No, it doesn't seem so. Let's see. No, it doesn't seem so. Okay, so let's see what's happening. So if we go back here, right? So set selected data, blah blah blah. I see. Okay. Okay, so we have this. That's good. Yeah. That all seems fine, I guess. Oh, shit, my bad. Sorry. I was looking at the wrong thing. Yeah, I was looking at the wrong thing. All good. I put a log in the wrong place, right? All right, so yeah, okay, so lecture section, right? So we can see that we're actually getting the data, right? So that's pretty cool, right? That is pretty cool. Yeah. So let's see now. So okay, so we're getting the data. We're trying to get the initial state, right? Of course. So now we need to. Yeah. So let's create an effect here, right? And Jesus Christ, man, this freaking Copilot sometimes annoys the living hell out of me. For the most part, it's super useful, but Jesus Christ. Yeah, this is kind of stupid thing to have a dependency on, because this is an object, right? So we are comparing a reference. So this effect is going to run always, right? And that kind of sucks, right? But we'll improve that. It's okay, right? So that's completely fine. We're going to improve that in 2 seconds, right? Let's just say, so where are we? We're in the lecture, right? So let's just say, yeah, if data, well, title is data.title image. Yeah, exactly, yeah. And I'm being very specific because there's some extra properties that I don't want to set in a state. Otherwise, maybe we could have just said, well, okay. Anyway, so actually, yeah, that's kind of sucks. So this should be data.data, right? So that's kind of misleading a bit, right? So data.data, I guess, right? So we have the data and then, or do we, right? Let's see, collection form is the data. And then we have data again, right? Okay, so let's kind of improve that here, where the prop is. We're gonna say select.data, right? So we don't have that nested data as the prop and then data the property of the object that we're passing, right? So that kind of sucks, right? Cool. So now as we click around, right now we should be starting to see, you know, the inputs kind of getting the right values, right? So of course, again, let's ignore the UI and stuff moving, very, very much irrelevant, right? Cool. All right. Of course, let's do slight modifications to those forms, right? Like simple stuff like, hey, if it's data, you know, well, it's an update, so, you know, instead of saying create, you know, just say update, right? So here we can say, you know, if there's data, update, right, or otherwise create, right? Yeah, if we get here, it's gonna say update, right? And we need to do the same pretty much in the other form, right? So we're gonna just do this fella and then go here and then go down here. The thing is, if you're wondering why not make this a bit generic, there's no need for it, right? We want to have, for now, you know, generalizing something prematurely, it's really bad and you should not be doing that. So always wait until you see a few patterns, until you see the patterns emerge, and then see if you can kind of generalize some stuff. For the most part, it's rarely ever worth generalizing forms like this because, you know, you want to have the freedom, the ability to change them to your liking, right? Actually, yeah, I think the YouTube channel that I made right recently, it's actually starting to get a lot of traction. I mean, we got like more than 150 people follow past 7 days or so, right? And I can see, right, that there's a bunch of like there's, you know, like where do I go? Yeah, there's no subtitles, comment, analytics. So I can see that a lot of people are kind of watching, right? So it's becoming really good, I think, right? I think I'm gonna continue streaming both to YouTube and Twitch at the same time, because I can see that a lot of kind of you know, slowly but surely, you know, people are kind of watching, right? So even now somebody liked it there and stuff, right? So whatever. Okay. Anyway, this kind of jumping is annoying me slightly, but just give me 2 seconds to it. It's kind of irritating me a bit, I must admit, right? I just put some min width just so it doesn't annoy us, right? Okay, cool. So we have that shit now, right? The next step is to obviously, before we make it, before we connect it with the endpoints and stuff, let's just make sure that the UI works, and then we're gonna connect all of it, right? And then we're gonna have to add the, let's actually, just so we don't forget, right? So let's go to those forms, right? Just as I had, where did I have it? Did I remove that? I guess I did, right? Okay. Well, we're gonna have this, right? And we're gonna say, you know, if it's an update, right? And that, and then what I actually want to have, we'll see about that, right? Let's just have no handler associated there. And then here we're gonna say, you know, we're gonna say I preview. And then we're gonna say here class name width of 5, I don't know. And then we're gonna put that in a div. And then we're gonna make that a flex and then gap 1 or something like that, right? So I wanna have this preview button, right? And then yeah. Outlined, right? Like this, yeah. Jesus Christ, man. Come on. Fuck's sake. pissing me off for no reason. Okay. What is this margin top for? That's not what I want. And why is this so humongous? Doesn't make any sense. Like, why is this button larger than the other one? What the hell is going on, man? Hell is going on? Wow. Okay. Are you kidding me, man? Are you seriously kidding me? Well, either way, right? We're gonna need so we're just gonna make it a bit fancy here, right? So we're gonna come here, right? We're gonna say Jesus Christ, so hard. Where is this bloody button? It's here, right? Yeah. So we're gonna do this stuff. We're gonna make this, and then we're gonna say a save or something. I think I have a save icon, right? Yeah. And then Jesus Christ, man, what is this crap? Why is it like, is this like, Jesus Christ? Is this icon messing it up? Alright, I'm pissed officially. I'm just gonna remove it. I don't have... yeah, I can't do it. No. So fucking dumb, man. I'm sorry, man, but JKV, that's a very, very broad type of thing to say, right? That's like calling your car guy and saying, hey, can you fix my car, right? It's too broad, man. It's too broad. Way too broad. Way too broad. Okay, let's leave it like this. Fuck it, whatever. I'm just a bit pissed now. You need to be way more specific, right? Nobody can help you if you just say, can somebody help me, right? That's impossible. You need to be way more specific, right? What the hell is going on, man? Jesus Christ. Okay. I see. Alright, cool. So, okay, good. So we have those forms now. They're sufficient, I think, right? So let's add this functionality now, right? So when I click add lecture, right? When I click add lecture, we need to contextualize that and add it to that specific section that you're in and push it to the last one, right? So when I click add lecture, we should get this form. And then when you click save, that thing should appear below, right below that specific last lecture in that section, right? So let's kind of work on that. It's gonna be very similar. It's gonna be very similar, right? Well, first and foremost, let's start somewhere, right? So here we're gonna have on click, right? And we're gonna say handle add lecture, right? And we're gonna have the same for the other guy, right? Alright, so it's basically right that, right? And then yeah, pretty much. And let's just create them, right? And handle add. Ah, nice car. Yeah. I am in a very heart of Copenhagen, if I may say. Yes, a beautiful, beautiful city. I love it a lot. I love it a lot. But good to have you here, man. Glad that you passed by and said hi. Thank you very much for that. Exactly. Amazing. Okay, so add lecture, la la la. Okay. So what do we want to? Well, first we're gonna need some context, right? So we can't just make it like this, right? So again, here we'll need to know. We'll need to pass two things. We'll need to pass the section itself and then the lecture itself, right? Probably misspell that, I assume. Lecture is not defined. Oh, wait a minute, what? Oh, sorry. This I'm a complete idiot. Never mind, ignore me. All good. I was referring to something else, right? Thank you very much, man. I hope that you signed up. I can see that a lot of people are signing up and checking it out. So sign up if you haven't already. You can go to just yeah. You did. Nice. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Always exciting for me, you know, to kind of log in the morning and see this more people are signing up. And of course there isn't much to do now yet, but you know, that's how you evolve the community, that's how you build the community. I'm aware that it's going to take maybe even a couple of years, right? But it's fine, right? That's how long it takes, and that's what it takes, right? Whatever it takes, right? All right, so let's now focus on this a bit, right? So when I click one of those things, right, we want to what do we want to get? Well, first we want to obviously show the form itself. So when I click this, we want to show the creation form. And then when you create it, it should appear beneath it, right? Now what we could still do, we could even push an empty object, right? So let me just think here for a second. I need to think for a moment, right? All right, cool. So, exactly, Leo, exactly. And Tronic, good evening, my friend. Okay, so let's kind of, so add lecture, right? Cool. So, okay. Yeah, okay. So let's handle the section first. Let's handle the section, right? So what we're gonna do is when you click handle add section, right? What we actually will do is, give me 1 second. No, that's yeah, I actually need to yeah, we'll see in a second. Let's just call it like that, right? Yeah. And essentially, yeah, so when we do this, right, what we actually want to do, we want to... Actually, no, we don't even need that. No, actually, no, not at all. What we literally need, if I want to create a new section, what we really need is we need to type this and then data null, right? Because we're already handling this stuff here, right? So we don't really need anything fancy, right? So if I click add section, right, let's see. Let's make sure that I'm calling the right thing, right? On click, yeah, let's make sure we're calling that. Just to make sure to check my own sanity, right? Add, yeah. yeah, so it's not actually being called. What I handle at section, also it's async now, but doesn't matter on click. It's because I put a event handler on the wrong thing, right? Let's just put it in that list item, right? All right, cool, right? So yeah, so if I click this, right, we should get the creation form, and we do, as you can see, right? Probably what would be nice is that it kind of now you don't actually have the context of what you're doing. So let's maybe just improve those forms a bit. So if we go to section, right, let's add some like title or some stuff, right? So let's say here, if it's data, if it has the data, then, you know, update section. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, something like that, right? Create section, right? And let's put this fella in some heading or something, right? So let's say h3 or something like that, right? And then let's say class name, let's say text Excel, right? And yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, again, we're not yet doing the styles and things making pretty. Right now we're just doing functionality. So let's do this like this, and then let's also go to the lecture form and pretty much do the same stuff, right? We're also gonna just quickly grab this fella here, right? And then let's put this guy here, right? Okay, great, cool, right? Let's get back here, right? And yeah, so that is pretty cool, right? Okay, good. And we're gonna do the same pretty much for we're gonna pretty much do the same for, and we're gonna then probably rename a bit we're gonna rename our event handlers here, because those names are a bit misleading, because this is just setting the state, right? So actually, when I think about it, right, let's just create those lambda functions and let's just inline them, right? Because we don't really need. I don't want to be wasting time with naming things properly now. So let's just, because this is basically just toggling some state, right? So let's just take that out, right, and take this out, and then go here, right, and pretty much do the same stuff. And then let's just get rid of this, right? And now we're good. Because we'll need the actual handlers to call the API and stuff soon, and I don't want to be now wasting time with names. Okay, great, right, that's good. Now the lectures are going to be a bit slightly different, because lectures are going to be localized to the section in which you're creating them. So when you click any of those, you're basically trying to create a lecture under that specific section, right? Okay, cool. So yeah, so slightly different here maybe, right? So the data here, sorry, I meant here, data here could potentially be something, right? Now, yeah, we might need to change that a bit, but here what I actually want to do is I want to say, yeah, no, not really, right? So the lecture itself is going to obviously be empty here, right? So maybe section ID makes sense, because that's pretty much what we're going to need, right? The only issue with this, though, is that we are breaking the interface or the contract, if I may call it like that, in this context here, right? So let's not do that, right? So instead, let's say, yeah. So let's basically do something like this, just so we don't need to check for nulls and stuff. So we're gonna do something like this and this, and then over here, right? We're gonna. So now we should have selected dot section ID, right? I don't know if that's the best, but right. So now here we can have section, you know, ID is selected dot section ID, right? So now if I go over here and we print that data and I click that new add, it should give me a different ID based on the context and where I click this add, right? So if I click it here, let's Let's see what's happening. So are we printing stuff? There we are. Lecture form, yes. Yep. And again, we put the handler in the wrong place, which should be in the list item itself, right? Okay, great. So let's try that again. So I click add section, that works. Add lecture. So we're getting section ID 6, which is correct. Then section ID 5, la la la. So that's pretty good. So that's what we wanted, right? Give me 2 seconds. What did I want to do? What did I want to do? So this is section, I don't care about that. Course. Okay, give me 2 seconds now. So yeah, let's try the editing stuff. Yeah, we tried this. Yeah. Okay, good. So it kind of works, right? So we're getting the section ID, even though it's lowercase, so let's not do that. That kind of sucks. We're not writing Python here, right? So let's not do that. Where is that section ID? Let's go here, section ID. Yeah, over here, right? All right, good. Let's just double check that once more. Yeah, okay, good. Good. And the only thing that we're, yeah, actually, only thing that's not happening is I can see that are we actually getting the, yeah, there's something wrong with the, yeah, so let's fix that. There's something wrong when I click on the lecture. I can see that we're getting the update here, so we're not checking something properly, and I assume that it's because of this expression here, right? Set selected lecture. Yeah, so let's go to the lecture form. I see. It's because now, yeah, I can see. I see, right? It's because we are not properly checking stuff, so we're still getting data and section ID. Okay, so let's fix that. So lecture form, where is it? Data here, yeah. Selected.data, so that's actually good. AC, thank you very much for the follow, dude. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Data null section. Where is this printed? Yeah, data. Yeah, data is null. But this doesn't make sense. I think that's where I messed up, maybe. Right? Yeah, I think that's where I messed up, right? Most likely. But why? Well, like the hell is... okay. Jesus Christ, man. Where is it? I hope so. Ah, okay, so it's probably here, yeah, so we're setting the data here, right? Yeah, so that's where we're messing up, right? So I think we should just be doing this, right? Even though, like, yeah, exactly. And then, yeah, okay, my bad, right? And then here we can... I don't like it, I must admit, right? I don't like this, but it's better, right? It's okay, right? It's better. So now it should work, right? The way that I want it, right? And now it indeed does, right? So, okay, so now we're good in that sense from a creation and updating perspective. So if you click add, obviously we're gonna get that empty form. And then if you click on the existing entities, you can edit them and stuff. Okay, good, right? That's great. Okay. So let's make it all work, and then we're gonna connect it with all of the APIs that we built in the previous 2 streams or whatever. Why is this bot spamming this shit so much? Is someone doing this? Is someone like... Why is it spamming this crap? Can I delete that shit? Doesn't make sense. Like, I've never seen... Like, wow, it actually spammed the living hell out of it. Is somebody like Sako or someone... Is someone doing this purposely, like spamming this stuff? Jesus Christ, man, mega spam. Okay, great. So let's keep on going, right? So, okay, so now, so if we go to the actual course, right? So if we go back, so if we go here, right? What we want to do essentially now, we want to actually create some event handlers, right? Now let's see, where do we want to put them? Where do we want to localize them, right? I don't know, man. Something's just mega spam those messages, like 3-4 messages in a row. Okay, let me just click around while I'm thinking. Just I want to kind of figure out where do I want to actually put the event handlers, right? Like, should I like... Wasn't there? Okay, good. So it wasn't you. Okay, so let's try. We'll see. So let's go into those forms. So let's go into section here, right? And let's do some stuff over here, right? So what we're gonna do over here is we will no, okay, never mind. All right. So let's go over here and let's create some of those handlers, right? So we're gonna say handle entity clicked. Let's say here const handle create section, sure. And let's implement that, right? So we're gonna say request dot post. Yeah, that's yeah, I think that was the endpoint, wasn't it? Let's go to our API. Let's take a look at our Swagger, right? I don't actually remember. Swaggerio. Of course, it's gonna open in the wrong screen. That's amazing. Courses, post, courses, course ID section. Yeah, that's actually correct. That's pretty good. Cool. Okay, great. And obviously we're gonna give it obviously we're gonna give it the data that it needs, right? So let's just say here body, right? And it's gonna take the body. Now of course we'll need to call some validation stuff over here, right, and stuff, but we're gonna do that elsewhere. Yeah. so we're gonna obviously pass this down, right, to the form itself. So we're gonna say handle create, then we're gonna pass this valid down, right, and over here we will gonna do something like this, right? Also gonna make that async, right? That's completely wrong, but who cares? And actually, yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. Okay, good. So now, obviously, we're gonna call our validator here before we call the actual API. So we're gonna say, you know, if exactly, yeah, pretty much. So we can fire up our validation, right? If the stuff you're trying to handle creates la la la, that's good. We don't really need to wait here at all because we're not really doing anything there, right? So pretty much, yeah. If this is successful, right? What we actually want to do, probably we want to get back. I assume we need to check my Swagger, but I believe that we are actually returning. What are we returning? Anything? Default response. Yeah, so that kind of success. Let's go to the API and let's go to courses controller create section, right? Yes, actually we are returning the section, which is a bit strange because that's not what our schema is saying at least. Let's see. So schema params body section body schema. Is there section response? Yeah, so this is wrong, right? So that's not true, right? We need to update this, right? Yeah. Type object, properties, ID, I guess, title, order. Yeah, no, not really. Okay. Course ID. I don't think it's no. Maybe, I don't actually remember. We'll see about that in a second. Let's take a look at our models. Course section. Where's the section? Yeah, maybe, but we need description anyway. We need a description, right? So now our schema should technically be a bit more accurate, right? So let's see. Courses, sections, and then we should be getting 201 back. Okay, cool. So since we're getting this back right now, we can technically work with the local state here. So we can say, you know, we can say set course, and that's actually cannot be further from the truth. This is not the true. And then here we have to say, you know, spread the existing course, and then say course sections. Exactly, right? Pretty much something like this, right? Cool. Well, it's time to. Yeah, so it's time to let's test it. Let's try if this makes any sense, right? So add section. Let's see if we're hitting it at all. Let's see if anything's happening, right? At all. Form validate is not a function. Okay. And that's fine because this idiotic thing tool, I think, is not... How did I write this thing? Yeah. So this should be is valid and not validate. Try that again. Okay, let's refresh. Add section. Test. Is actually anything happening at all? I can only assume that it's that the form validation is failing, right? So let me go ahead here. Let's see which errors are we getting. Most likely we're getting some errors, right? And it's just silent because it might be the order error or whatever, right? So test, create, yeah. Order, yeah. Order must be integer, right? And we can kind of change this so the API handles this and takes the... But we can also do it here, right? And I get it. I get why is it complaining, right? So let's fix it, right? So what we are actually missing, right? The order itself has to be the length of the sections plus 1, right? When you create it. So essentially here we can say, yeah, not really, no, almost. Form.form state, form data, and then order is going to be basically, sure, we can add the radix here, and then here we, no, yeah, but we don't really need that. So what we're going to say is yeah, but maybe we can actually do that. We can say, okay, it's going to be course dot shit, we don't really have a context of a course here, right? But I mean, we could pass it down, of course. Yeah, let's maybe do that. It's kind of getting a bit ugly, but whatever. So let's say here, sections length is gonna be like course sections dot length. Let's just do some conditional operators, because course is actually always gonna have this, so forget it. So now actually while here, right, we have this section's length, and the order is going to be that plus 1, right? So here we can say well, because that is already an integer, we don't need to parse anything, right? It's already an integer, so something like that, right? Cool. So let's take a look at that quickly. Add section test. I see, okay. I see, I know, and let's fix it. So where is it? So what I'm actually going to do, I will just omit it from here. Then we're gonna append it there. This is also not necessary. Alright, try that again. Okay, so we're passing validation now. Now we're getting a different error, but so validation now is fine. So let's try test again, and we're just getting some reference error, right? And that's okay, we're gonna fix that now. Handle create sections, not a function. I see. Where is it? Where are we calling that? So lecture section form handle create section. It's because it's called handle create, right? I see. Okay, my bad. And then we have internal handle create. So it's okay. Yeah, I don't actually know how I want to do it, but let's keep that name generic handler create, right? And then do this, right? And then do that maybe. I don't actually know, just so we don't yeah, something like that, right? Okay. Let's take a look. So add section. Well, we did something, it seems, at least, right? Let's see. So, yeah, we did create a section and we got the response, which is fine, right? So that's cool, and I can see that we created it, so that's great. We're almost there with that one. So let's get back here, let's see what's happening. So we get this back, we spread the existing course, and then we spread the course sections, and then we spread those fellas over here, and then we you know, we push basically to an array, right? We just merge. Okay, let's create another one and see why it fails. Probably something something silly somewhere. Give me 1 second. One sec. Jesus Christ, come on. All right. So add section. Let's see what does it fail with. Ah, I see. Okay. So yeah, sure. My bad. So obviously now when we create a section, right, we're not doing any joins on it, so it's missing a section itself has lectures. Of course we can do a hacky thing here, because I don't want to do a join on something that was just created. It doesn't make sense, right? So what we can actually do, we can solve that in the front end, right? Or we can do something like this. We can say here get plain you know, plain true, raw true, right? And then I can say here, I can spread this, and I can say course lectures is empty array, right? It's complaining now that it can't loop through the actual lectures array because it doesn't exist. Of course it doesn't exist. We just created the section, so it doesn't have the lectures yet, right? Jesus fucking Christ, what is it now? Oh, we didn't update the schema. Okay, my bad. So create section. And yeah, let's say here, what is it called? What did we just add? Section lectures, right? I mean, this is so irrelevant, right? Because this is actually completely irrelevant, right? But either way, because this is never gonna actually, this is gonna be empty. I don't know how we can if we can in OpenSpec API describe an empty thing, right? But either way, right? Whatever we put in here is irrelevant, right? Because this is gonna be empty, right? It doesn't really matter what we put here at all. Just want to get a... Okay. Okay, so it's still not returning it. What? Did we not save or something? Section lectures. Or maybe I'm just... Course lectures. Okay, so we kind of I did it's a typo, right? My bad. Okay, let's keep on going. So now we did get sectional lectures, but is that really how is that really how we're expecting it to be called? Course sections. No, that's course sections. But how are we yeah, course sections, where is it? Course lectures. So it is course lectures. Okay, so my bad. So where was that? So it's course lectures. My brain is just farting, right? All right, great. Okay, so should work now, I think. Let's try that again, and we will need some loading state, but yeah, there we go. So we created, right? Well, it happens a bit too fast, but we can see that we added. Okay, great, right? So we're slowly but surely kind of, yeah, slowly utilizing the API we built in the previous streams. So while we are here, let's just make sure we add some sort of a delete section button before we start fiddling with adding lectures and stuff, right? Because sections are fairly simple. They have just basically two fields, title and description. This is the title, and potentially beneath that, you can have a description. The only fun thing though here is that, let me actually check one thing. So if I take a look at 9, if we go to the preview, course sections, I don't see description anywhere. Are we not returning the description at all? I think that's the problem, right? So response, wait, get course, I guess. Yeah, let's take a look what's happening. So get course schema. Response is that ratings course sections. Yeah, so here's the course section. Yeah, so we are actually omitting the description. I was like thinking, why the hell am I not seeing those descriptions? Because we've certainly created them, right? So what is it complaining now about? It doesn't want to actually, now it's exploding completely. Let's see what's happening. Okay, wait, it's a bad copy paste. Sure, there should be a string, not an integer, right? So copy paste gone wrong. Okay, great. So now we actually should be seeing those descriptions, right, as well, and we do, right? Okay, that's good. Something feels a bit off. All right, cool. Okay, good, great. Okay, let's add some sort of an delete action or something when you maybe hover over this, right? I don't know. So maybe when you hover over this, we should add a little, delete icon or something. Or I don't actually know. Or maybe, yeah, no. So let's kind of localize all of the actions next to the buttons, right? So let's just basically, yeah. I have an idea, right? So let's try to keep the UI as minimal and dumb, as simple as possible, because human race in general is very dumb, right? So let's, where is this section, right? Well, you can't really preview a section, can you? So that this doesn't make sense anyway, which means, yeah, actually, so this is gonna be delete, right? And then color, where is it color name, let's call it rose. Chinny, good evening, buddy. Yeah, it's super radically red. It's like mega red. It's like, Jesus Christ. It's but maybe that's what it should be. I don't actually know, right? That it's super red, mega red. So let's not do that, right? Yeah, let's maybe use an icon of some sort of something, right? So let's change this to something like this, and let's say trash or something, or bin. I think there's like a bin icon, right? Isn't there like a, or remove or something? Remove, nah. Delete, yeah, delete bin. Okay. Thank you very much, man, for the compliments, and thank you for lurking, and thank you also for saying something. It's always better if when people kind of, yeah, they say something. It makes me feel, makes it more fun for me, if I can say that way. Okay, beautiful. Let's leave it like that. So let's say width of, I don't know, let's say width of 8, something like that. We'll see. Still here. Nice. Still alive. Yeah, this is one of those that yeah. All right, so maybe wait. Let's do it. Like, maybe try this. It's a trial and error now. Yeah, let's just try it, and then we're gonna say here color something is rose, right? Thank you very much, man. I mean, I basically just share what I share what I do every day at work, and I'm generally just out there building apps for a long time, right? So I try to give the advice as best as I can based on my real experience, right? That's the best I can do, right? So I genuinely, maybe you feel like that, and thank you very much. Maybe you feel like that because I genuinely give the answers that I truly believe are accurate, right? So it's not about, you can always give an answer to please towards a specific group of people, so somebody's gonna come back and watch the stream. But genuinely, if people don't like what I'm saying, well, then they don't have to watch. I'm not gonna be pleasing anybody, right? I'm not here to adhere to any group of people. I say how I try to help people. I think I have enough of experience now and credibility to know that I can help others if they truly want to learn. And I'm just trying to be realistic. I don't try to make, I'm not, I don't want to say things just because, yeah. Stako, we're gonna do that today already. We have an endpoint for that. You're gonna be reordering them here. So we're gonna implement drag and drop. We're gonna be implementing drag and drop per sectional level, right? So yes, absolutely. We already, that's one to do, right? We already have an endpoint for that. Let me just play with it a bit. I don't know, I just want to make it look nice. Yeah, I've been working as a mentor for 5.5 years at Thinkful, right? Unfortunately, they no longer work with the European mentors, but I used to work here for 5.5 years, but they no longer, it's now purely US based, right? So I used to teach people in the US, but now they're just now they're just working with mentors from the US, right? All right, so let's click this fella over here. So where is the delete thing? Yeah. Yeah, we did Sako. So for example, if I go here, right, we have fair enough. Come by later if I'm still here. But you can see here we have sort lectures, and then yeah, this is gonna be dealing with that. So we're gonna try to and enjoy it, man. Okay, so let's implement this. Let's go to our Swagger again. Actually, I think we already have it open somewhere, right? I mean, my pleasure, man. Thank you for sticking around. I mean, again, once people stop showing up, then I'm gonna stop showing up. I gain fun and feedback from you guys on the project from this stream. Apart from that, I gain zero, nothing, right? those few people who subscribed, and I still respect that and appreciate it. But that's amount of money for me to buy 1 coffee or 2 coffees a month here in Copenhagen, right? So from that perspective, it's fun, it's hilarious. So clearly I'm not here because of that, right? Clearly. What did I want to do? So delete. Okay, so delete section. Okay, so this is how we delete it. So pretty much the same how we create it. So that would be the same thing, right? So let's get over here, and we're gonna pretty much, yeah, generic stuff. We're gonna eventually turn this into services, probably, and stuff like that, right? But for now, let's not lose our sleep over that stuff. So we want to be quick or be dead, as Bruce Dickinson says. Developer who doesn't drink coffee, quit your job immediately. I'm just kidding, of course. Yeah. So basically, yeah. So we can we'll pass handle the delete here, and then we'll just call it, right? So on click, basically, we want to call handle delete, right? That's pretty much what we want to do. Let's see if that actually is sufficient. I mean, this was pretty quick, but if our API, we have tested our API, obviously, also here when we built it. So let's see if that's sufficient, what I just did, right? So it should be as simple as that. So we click here. All right, so good. I think the only thing that's the endpoint is wrong, and that's perfectly fine. So we just missed the endpoint. So delete V1 courses 9 sections. And then we're missing the section ID that we're deleting, right? So that's the problem. I see. Okay, well, easy fix, right? So let's do that. So here we're gonna get the section ID, right? That we wanna get rid of, right? And then I presume it's gonna be something like this, right? Hell happened there. I see. Okay. Handle delete section. Handle delete. And yeah, should be basically I guess data.id maybe. I don't actually know. Let's try. Test. Yeah, I guess it worked. Did we get 204? We did, but did we actually remove it? Okay, so we're not properly removing it from the state, so let's fix that quickly. I mean, for example, I don't have dependency on coffee at all, but coffee is almost like my hobby. I have a very good coffee machine here, so I just love the taste of coffee. But I 100% agreed. I mean, I can, decide now to never drink it again in my life, and it would be perfectly fine, right? But for sure, definitely, I feel the same, right? But I just love coffee, right? I just enjoy. I enjoy I just enjoy drinking it, right? Okay, so let's. Yeah, fair enough. So for you, it's quite contrary. Fair enough, right? Okay, so let's see what we're doing here wrong. So we have a section ID, section ID, exactly. Course sections filter. Take this section, and then say if it doesn't match this, and then set the course, right? What the heck? Jesus Christ, man, come on. Stop messing with me. I mean, this looks very much accurate, completely accurate, right? So let's see what the hell is happening, because it should be setting this in the state, like section.id, section ID, right? So this looks really good to me, right? So let's see what's happening. I mean, it looks good to me, honestly. So we go here, we click delete. Okay, what? Ah, okay, so what the heck? Intro to functions. Are we not calling this at all anymore? Handle delete section. Okay, section form, handle delete. Okay, that's a bit strange. Oh, okay, so something's definitely wrong. Okay, so, well, it worked after I clicked like 700 times. Oh no, what? Okay, so now it actually works. Okay, so it was a glitch of some sort of something. Let's see. Ah, we've put... Ah, Jesus, man, what a silly thing. We put the event handler on a wrong thing again. We need to put it on a button, not on a bloody icon, right? That's the problem. Okay. That's the highlight of today. I keep doing that the whole day. All right, cool. Well, that's great. Okay, so now we can you can delete them as well, and that's great. We should probably add some spinner or something, right? So they don't. And maybe eventually, when we actually start focusing on the UI, we're gonna maybe add some sort of a fade effect, hopefully, or something, so it doesn't just disappear like this, right? Okay, so we implemented that. We implemented this, right? A new one, a new section, right, as well. So you can create the sections, right? Not right, and then you can click on it, right? So that's great. So you can see that actually the UI for creating courses is going to be pretty awesome. I think all of us are going to like it. I hope so, because I really like it. I think it's super simple. It's like super intuitive. You don't need to go through different forms. You don't need to like select drop downs. Oh, choose the section that this belongs to. It's kind of very graphical, very like, you know, you go into your, you know, you go is like into, I want to add another lecture here. Okay, great, go ahead. I want to add a new section to this course, right? So it's very visual, I think, right? It's not like it kind of saves you a bit from, you know, clicking with the on extra drop downs and stuff like that, right? Now maybe you know, this we can make a bit more useful, right? So for example, if I'm adding a lecture, right, and this is also saying crazy, if I'm adding a lecture, it would be useful to say add another lecture to, and then the section name or something, just so you know you remember what you actually clicked on, right? But we'll solve all of this, right, over the next couple of days, right? It doesn't have to be perfect now. Create, well, I guess this should be lecture and not section, right? And then again, this is all temporary for now. So okay, that's great, right? Now is the now it's the last entity, right? Before we actually then can, so the last one is adding the lecture, right? Yeah, okay. So let's go somewhere. Over here, right? I guess. I think we need the null here, just so we reset the actual form. And so if I click here and then I say add lecture, why are those not being cleared out, right? It still has the old state, so we need to kinda, let's make sure we fix that one, right? So if we go to lecture form, let's see what's happening. So I see, okay. So let's just make sure it's so because it seems that yeah, so this initial state obviously is not going to work, right? So let's just say here otherwise, else, yeah, something like that, right? I think this should reset it now, right? So I say here and then those fields are cleared, right? Okay, great. Create lection. What the hell is a lection? There's no such thing on the planet. Lection. Lecture. Let me just go back to the API just for 1 second, delete section, just to see, am I actually deleting all of the lectures as well? Yeah, okay. So find it, get all the lectures. One thing that I'm not actually doing here, I'm not doing this transactionally, and that kind of sucks. Let's actually just, as we notice those things, let's not leave them for later, because later is never, right? So please update my Fastify JS controller that uses sequelize JS, so it uses transactions. Just so it can do it very quickly for us. Just to add the transaction itself, right? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, perfect. That's right. We don't want to get in a nasty state where we deleted few things and then something failed in between, right? That's why we need a transaction, right? So we roll back if something actually bad happens, right? So that's good, right? So let's test it out. So can I actually remove a section? Still no. Okay, well it's I know what the issue is. This is an issue. Okay, great. Try that again. Try that again. Yeah, we're good. Okay, good. So just a good catch. Good that I saw that. So we can do that, and now basically, yeah, so now we need to add a lecture, and yeah, we need to pretty much do the same as we did there, and then we're gonna need to delete the lecture as well, right? So let's go to the course itself. Viper, thank you very much, man. Thank you very much for the follow. So handle create section, let's pretty much the same, right? Handle create the lecture, right? And if we go to our beautiful Swagger, Zandrio, thank you very much. Thank you actually everybody for your follows, appreciate it. Thank you for being here as well. So this is how we get them, obviously that's what we were doing already. So this is how we create a lecture, right? So we post a section ID, so it needs a section ID clearly. Okay, so courses, course ID, sections, right? Section ID, right? So it needs the section ID, and then obviously it needs a lecture ID, right? And yeah, and then it needs the body, right? So we're gonna, so let's pass the, let's kind of, you can see, try to make it easy for yourself when you're passing arguments like this, right? You can obviously turn this into just an object. You can pass an object to this, so you don't need to memorize the order of the parameters or arguments that you're passing, or you can just pass them as 3 arguments, but try to align it with how it is it here, right? So because if I say now here body and lecture ID, right, and then section ID, you can kind of see that, you know, it sounds silly, but you can get very easily confused. You can look at this and then this sometimes and then see that. So what I'm trying to say, try to pass them in the same way as you see them here. So if I'm not going to pass them as an object, so then I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to pass it like this. So it kind of aligns, you know, over here and then over here. It's a silly thing, but it helps, trust me. Yeah, so obviously now we so now we need to loop through the course sections, and then and then we need to, yeah, and then we need to loop through each, we need to find the section by the ID, and then find the, and then and this doesn't make sense here, sorry, this is lectures, right? So we want to push that lecture in the UI to that specific section, obviously, right? So you can kind of assume what happens here. It's fairly simple, right? So we say map, right? Let's see if this guy can figure it out, right? Yeah, it can. It can, yeah. So if section ID is section ID, then spread the existing section and then add this newly created lecture to that specific section, course lectures, right? In simple words, when I add a lecture here, well, add it to in this context of this section, not inside of this section, right? So when I click this add, it should contextualize it to this, right? So very simple, right? Let's just review that because it was the co-pilot that kind of suggested it. So that's good. That's good. And then la la la. Yeah, that's perfect. That's literally what we need. So that's great. That's great. Let's pass this. So let's be kind of generic as well here in a way, if I may say that way, and pretty much the same stuff, right? So if we go to the other form just to get some copy pasting done properly, right? We're gonna pretty much do the same like we were doing here, and if I go somewhere down here, yeah, so let's paste this on click handler over here. We don't really need this crap here. And then yeah, we're calling handle create. We're trying to validate stuff here. We're passing in the form data. We don't really need to spread it, I think. And I'm almost certain that we're gonna get some errors here, right? So, and it's fine. So we're gonna get the error probably from the tip tap and stuff like that, but it's okay, right? Because it's okay simply because we're gonna print those errors now and then see what's happening, right? So it's definitely not gonna work in the first try. There's no question about that. So let's see, just a matter of question, what actually is gonna fail. Not if it's gonna fail, it's just what is it's gonna fail. Okay, so well, first, yeah, this is good. So our validation works. So this is saying, hey man, that's not a valid URL, right? So let's at least provide the valid URL, right? Create. Okay, wow. So that's almost okay. That's almost fine. Message. Okay, so we got some validation error. And let's see what did we actually send? What's our payload, right? So preview, response. Well, our payload is nothing. That's the problem, I think. Yeah. That's most likely the problem, right? Because here we're passing those arguments in the wrong order, right? What was it? If we go back here, right, it was not this one. So if we go back here, right, we need section ID, lecture ID, and then the body, right? So we need like section. Shit. Give me a second here. So do we actually have this? I think we do have this lecture form. Didn't we pass? Didn't we have it? Yeah, I think I prepared it for this, right? Yeah. So we do have the section ID, and then yeah, great. Okay, so let me just take a look at that once more. So section lecture body. Okay, good. So let's do that. Let's go back here. So we're gonna say we can do this obviously in several different ways, but I'm gonna do it in this way. So we're gonna pass that down, and then we're gonna send it back again. We're gonna send it back to where it came from. It's gonna be section ID. It's gonna be no, not really. It's gonna be data.id, which is the ID of the. But actually, give me 1 second just to, because yeah. So this is wrong. We don't really need this. We just need a section ID. So I don't know why I added that there, right? So actually, we pretty much just need a section ID and then this value, right? Okay, let's try that again. So let's say add lecture and la la la, la la la, la la la. Add some content, right? Let's see what we get now. Create. Okay, well, it claims that it created it, right? It claims that it did create it, and actually it did. I can see it here. That's good. So it works. So let's try again. Try again. Let's try some stuff. Blah, blah, blah. We try our rich text editing here. Let's try some heading. Is this going to work? Create. Yeah, it does. The only thing we didn't really do, we're not clearing the fields, obviously, so we can do that in a second, right? That's good. Okay, good. That's great. So yeah, let's let's make this an async thing. So is this a lecture form? Yeah, so let's make sure that we await for this guy here. And then here we can say form that's dot set form state get initial state. So basically, hey, when you create it, reset all fields to be empty, right? And that's great. Okay, so let's try that again. I'll just add something descriptive enough. And there we go, great. Now the reason why you see this text is because once I create it, it selects the first item in the list again. So that's something we're gonna figure out probably in the next, over the weekend as we finalize this feature. But hopefully, yeah. That's good. That's not bad at all, actually. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, great. And well, of course, and now lastly, I think, or one of the last ones, right, is let's add that delete button, right? The same one that we have on the section, right? So nothing fancy for now. Handle delete, right? And we only want to show this if it's in edit mode, right? So that clearly, right? So we want to do this and pretty much the same stuff, right? So we're gonna import this delete bin. We're gonna pass in some stuff. We're gonna pass this event handler here, so handle delete. And that's great, right? So now we should see this. Again, ignore the visuals. This is not far from final visually, right? And then let's go to the course and let's say here, let's copy this stuff. Say handle delete lecture. And I can only assume that it's gonna be slash lectures, lecture ID exactly. I mean, yeah, okay, sure, we can pass that as well if need be, but it's not really necessary, right? Yeah, so now over here, let's see if this guy is gonna, actually help us. The co-pilot is gonna speed up stuff for us. Let's see if it knows the context, right? Cassie, there are some tests in the API, but no, not really. No. I don't think I'm gonna be writing any tests in the front end, and there's no plans to do that at all. No. I'm very opinionated when it comes to writing tests at this stage of software development. So I would not write them now ever. And that's yeah, that's just a personal thing, right? The thing is, I mean, obviously, I cannot tell you that writing tests is bad. I cannot tell you that having TypeScript is good or bad. It's clearly good. Everything that you can do is good. But when you're a person building this thing nearly alone, right? Everything in life and in programming, right? I don't want to sound like I'm some 89 years old wise Gandalf or anything. But everything has a context, and every information has a context and a place and space to be interpreted, right? Like nothing is absolute. There's really no absolute truth about anything, even in programming, right? So like, there are good practices, right, that we can all agree on. So for example, we can all agree that writing tests is a good practice, right? We can all agree that writing statically typed languages is probably better than writing dynamic language, but then we're talking about ideal circumstances, ideal environment where technically one should be performing everything perfectly. But if you're building a product like I am nearly alone, and you need to handle infrastructure, front end, back end, marketing, and all of the other stuff, then if you don't choose your battles very wisely, you will never finish anything. And you know, if for example, I don't mind writing unit tests in Fastify, it's quite enjoyable, right? Like I can do that easily. Writing unit tests in the UI is the most horrible thing. Writing tests in the UI is often more complicated than actually building the feature itself, because the whole ecosystem is very convoluted, right? You know, when we worked with classes, for example, at least you had a context of this, so you could hook into your kind of class state or your object state. Right now, you know, you're getting the attributes by the attribute name and doing this and that, and it's really shitty and it's useless for the most part, right? How to land first job as a self-taught programmer. I just got my rejection after going through the second interview with the damn technical interview. Seems like there's a catch. No experience, no job. I mean, I can tell you, madman, right, that it's a very... There's a lot of people like you, right? So you have to understand one fundamental thing, and this is going to be the best advice that anyone is going to give you, right? So please listen to it carefully, and I'm pretty sure it's going to encourage you, right? Whenever companies, when I hire for a position in my company, for example, in the company where I work, you hire for one person, but you interview 100 people, right? So, which means that if you even hire one out of those 100, well, 99 are gonna fall off. So the thing is, you're just a victim of statistics, right? And you are now in a land where you just need to be the statistics. You need to keep interviewing until you are one of that 10, 20, 30, 50, 100, right? And, you know, don't feel bad when you're rejected, because you have to learn. You know, interviewing process is broken in a way, and you have to learn. You have to learn the questions. You have to get the self-confidence. You need to learn to bullshit, in simple words, right? Because everybody bullshits, right? The guy that gets job at Google, he bullshits. The guy that gets a job at a two-man company in some village bullshits as well, right? So that is unfortunately because, and the thing is, let me just finish the thought, right? I'm not complaining, because that's the fundamental difference between me. I'm a very actionable person, so I'm not saying, because a lot of people online are saying, oh my god, interview process is broken, la la la. Well, fix it. Nobody can actually suggest a better way, because everybody is complaining and we all agree that interviewing process is broken, but nobody's actually suggesting solutions, right? And it's easy to complain. Anybody can sit and bitch about everything, right? But in simple words, interview process is broken simply because that's how naturally it is. I mean, some people are more charismatic, some people are more lucky. Of course, some people are simply better than you X amount of times, and some people are worse, right? But the process is like that, and there's no point in complaining. You can either be actionable, or as I say, proactive or reactive. So there are people who are proactive, there are people who are reactive, and those who are reactive, they either complain or they don't do anything. They wait for the life to come to them, right? So in simple words, just continue interviewing. You're gonna get rejected probably 20 more times, and that's okay. All of us at one point in our career get rejected a lot, right? So don't get discouraged. Like, just keep on going, and it's gonna happen, right? And just keep in mind, again, you have to be the statistics, right? Because you are 1 out of 100, right? Almost every time, right? Exactly. There you go. And you just make sure to get better after every interview. That's very fundamental, right? So instead of pitting yours, I'm not saying that you do any of this. I'm just saying, if you get rejected, write as soon as you finish the interview, write the questions down, or write them during the interview. Remember what they asked you. Go home, rehearse through that again, see what you could have done better, and then for the next interview you're gonna do better, etc., right? So there's a lot of variables that have to align in order for you to get a job, or for all of us. They have to like you, you have to like them, you have to be lucky a bit. That's how it works. Just accept how the game is and go with it. That's how, you know, you can't change it, and if you can't change it, then there's nothing else to say, really. It's pointless saying anything else, right? It's just useless, right? All right. Okay, so let's okay, so let's go. What did I want to do? Ah, yeah. So let's try. Let's test this. But great questions. I mean, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. I'm here. I'm pretty. It's weekend. I'm not working tomorrow, right? So I'm happy to give you any insights, right? No problem at all. Okay, so it does work. We just need to fix the UI. We can see it when we refresh, right? I mean, there's no strategies, man. Like you can read those guides online and all of this bullshit. I must tell you, there's really no strategies, man. Like you just need to beat the statistics. So you need to keep applying, and you need to. There's no such thing 5 times, 3 times, whatever. Try to find companies that you can also genuinely get interested in. Try to find something in your domain that also helps, right? But overall, I mean, it's just a competition, right? You're now in the sea of, you're now competing with a bunch of people who are in the same position as you, and they want that job as much as you do, right? And that's how it is. There's no secrets there, right? It's as simple as that, right? This looks good to me, honestly. Looks good to me. Let's give it a shot. I mean, looks good. Should kinda remove it. Oh, do we have... Wait, give me a second. I don't think so. No. But give me 2 seconds. No. Is this the lecture? Yeah, delete and click. Yeah, handle delete section ID. Yeah. Data ID. Okay, so that seems fine, right? So what here did we write? So set course, so loop to the sections. If the section ID is the section ID that did we pass it in the right order? Give me just 2 seconds. So lecture 4. So section ID, data ID, section ID, data ID. Yes, we did. Course sections. Yeah, I mean, this looks good to me, honestly, right? Let's just sorry, my bad. My bad. Let's just and I think that's almost all of them that we need. Well, we need to implement drag and drop and sorting and stuff like that, but okay. But I think most of them lecture ID. Yeah, let's see what the hell is happening, right? So let's add a lecture to this guy here. Ah, shit. So we added one, right? Let's see what happens if we try to delete it, right? So delete. Okay, so we didn't even get to the point of inside here, right? So if section ID... So we actually never end up in here at all. Yeah, so it seems that maybe the lecture ID... Yeah, so something's wrong. So like, yeah, okay. So let's double check this. It seems that those params are maybe wrong. What params, man? What are you talking about? Okay, section ID. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that maybe this value is undefined or something, right? It has to be. It has to be undefined, right? So let's add a lecture here. No, it has to be a valid URL, even though, yeah. So created, right? And let's try removing it. Yeah, undefined as I assumed. Yeah, exactly. Handle delete lecture. Okay, handle delete. Handle delete section ID. Oh, I see. Well, I don't actually see. Jays, good evening, my friend. I don't actually see. Handle delete. Handle delete, yeah. What the hell? Handle delete lecture, yeah? It takes 2 arguments, right? Section and yeah. I mean, am I going crazy or something? Wait a minute. Yeah, that looks reasonable, right? Ah, shit, that's not good. Yeah, of course. No, that's not good. That's not good. Like, we cannot depend on this. We cannot. This makes no sense, right? Because I mean, okay, this will. So let me show you what the problem is, right? We're depending on that selected property. So essentially, if I do this, right? Yeah, we can't do that. Yeah. If I create it now and then I select this section, well, I can't even do that. But basically, we can't. Thank you very much for the follow. FE, I can't pronounce that, no chance. But thanks a lot, man. Okay, so we can't really be passing this thing, right? The section ID like this here, right? So let's actually see. Let's see what we can actually do. So add section, add lecture. Okay. No, I mean it could be working actually when I think about it. So wait, we say add. So we type lecture section. Oh, this is the problem. No, it's not. Okay, never mind. Sorry, my bad. All good. Oh man, wait a minute. Never mind. All right, let's see. Blah blah blah. Do this. Try to add a lecture. Okay, so we can see that section ID is there, right? All right, so we do this, we do that, we do this, right? We do that. Create, right? All right, and then when we get there, it's basically, yeah, it's not there, right? Okay. I see. Okay, I know what the problem is. Let's fix it. So where do we do that? So when I click on, yep, exactly. So basically over here we need to say, hey, yeah. I think something like this, right? Let's try that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now it should be working, right? So I come over here, I delete. Yeah, I was actually genuinely expecting that to be just suddenly working, but it's not. Let's try that again. So yeah, so it did match it now, right? It did actually match it. So let's see, params, whatever, yeah. Yeah, so it did match it here, right? Yeah, that's a bit funny. Okay, let's try that again. Whatever. La. Okay, create it, right? So now it's good. Okay, so yeah, so now we're actually good. Okay, so now it has to be here, right? Something here. So what do we do? So set course, spread the existing course, go into course sections, if section ID, right? And then course lectures. to spread this. Ah, I think this. Ah, man, we're missing the... Aren't we, like, missing a return statement? Oh, no, actually, sorry, we're returning there. My bad. So... yeah, so it looks good to me. Like, what the heck? Honestly, it looks fine. Oh man, we have a filter here. What the hell? Why do we have a filter there? I mean, the bloody, what is it called? This Copilot thing wrote it. What an asshole. All right, there we go. And oh my God, Artonado, I haven't seen you in like 2 months, my friend. Man, exactly. Good to have you here, man, again. It's been so long. The Panosa, Sacco, Ortonado crew. Okay, great. So we kind of got that one. The only thing that I dislike, let's just do one thing. So let's clean up. Let's just clean up those useless logs so they don't annoy us with useless stuff. That's okay. So yeah, so going back to this thing, right? So if we go somewhere else, so we have that now. Well, we actually, yeah, we haven't updated it. We didn't do the update yet, right? So that's what we have to do, and should be, actually, did we do the update? I don't actually remember. No. Oh, we did to an extent. Okay, so we did for the sections, I see. Okay, I see. So there's this kind of use effect that we have somewhere. I believe it's most likely here that, you know, we're listening for some change of something, and then it just, yeah, I think this thing is kind of a bit annoying, right? So this is because it's a reference, right? We're kind of clearing a dependency, you know, on a reference, right? So let's try not to have that at all, right? Let's see. So if we do that, right? So if we go back here, clear. So we're gonna need it, right? But we'll also say yeah, or we can also say selected, right? Dot. So if it has selected data already, don't run this effect, right? Welcome back, Jace. So if something is already selected, return as well, right? So that's can guard us against that crap, right? So yeah, so let's add a lecture to this section now, right? Peter, good evening, buddy. How are you? How's life? Good to have you guys here. All right, la la la, bam, and no, it kind of still does that, right? Okay, so now we're kind of, since we're adding more and more stuff, which is kind of starting to work, we pretty much need to just figure out is like what it is that we actually want to show in this right side. So now you come to your course dashboard, right? You enter a course, like what should you see first? My assumption was that you should be seeing the first lecture in the first section. But maybe you shouldn't be seeing anything. Maybe you should just say a message, you know, click on whatever you want to edit or whatever. I don't know. So that's something we'll need to decide in the next days, right? And then what we can actually do instead, right? So we can just we could remove the type, or we could set the type to null, which would make that function return basically nothing, right? So this would be empty, right? So, and that's maybe what we want. Like, let's not make such stupid assumptions, right? Because we don't know. If you don't know what you want, then whatever, right? So let's here for the default. Let's just say, you know, let's add some kind of. Let's just say select a section. Select sections or lectures to edit or create new ones, something like that, right? Just some disclaimers, something, right? So if we get back here, right, you get something like that, right? So we'll see. Again, today we're not dealing in any way by things looking pretty or whatever. We're just trying to we built the API, you know, recently for this whole thing. So we now just need to build the functionality, right? Yeah. Let's actually do it like this. Let's say text center. And that's literally not what I wanted at all. I actually wanted it here. And then on this guy, let's say width of 12 or something like that, right? Yeah, or actually let's just do standard boilerplate flex, justify, center, items center, right? And something like this, right? This is obviously going to be a block-based element, so we'll need to make it in line, right? And let's say width 6 or whatever. Let's see. La 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 la. Actually, it's not completely disgusting, right? What if we would kind of span by default as an inline element? Is that going to make any difference? No, but why is this? What is breaking the new line? Is it the icon itself, or is it something else? Kind of strange. I don't think it's the icon. Ah, I see. It's the flex, right? It's the flex. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. Good, Jace. It's coming along really, really good. It's coming along really well. It's coming along really, really well. Yeah, it kind of sucks to have a paragraph inside a paragraph. I actually hate that. I actually despise it. All right, cool. So yeah, something like that, right? Again, we're not here for perfection yet, so it's okay. And then let's kind of get rid of that. Let's say text gray, I don't know, 500 or something like that, right? Yeah, exactly. And let's yeah, whatever. Let's push this arbitrary down. Just, I don't know. Let's say empty 12. I don't know. Just random stuff, or 6 or something like that, right? Yeah, so now, yeah, if you obviously select some stuff, right, you're gonna see it, but if you get to a different course, it's gonna tell you, hey, do this. Now, of course, you can see there's no sections for this guy, so we'll need to handle some edge cases. We'll need to, right, there's different states that you can be in. Yeah, Artunato, I mean, we have few hundred people who are registered already. Yeah, you can sign up. Yeah, definitely. You can see that we have people signing up slowly, right? So for sure. You can also sign up with, like, yeah. My eyebrows are basically thinking instead of me. I have like I have like 3 brains in this one and 2 brains in this one. Thank you, man. Thank you for the compliment. My eyebrows are the best. Yeah, okay, so that's great. So that's almost great. That's almost great. One thing that I can see is that basically we are only re-rendering when the type changes, right? And that's kind of shitty, right? We can't do that, right? Or to say, right, this guy here, or where is it? Yeah, this guy here essentially only kind of so it basically only re-renders based on the type, right? And that kind of sucks ass, right? Where is that thing? Where am I calling that crap? Yeah. Yeah, we'll need to fix that. Okay. So if we open our beautiful and low fidelity mockups, let's see where we actually are. Okay, what was this? It seems that you haven't written any. Okay, so we did this guy, right? So this is done, and then you create your first course. So that's what we did already. Let me just recap. So yeah, so you come here, you create your few courses. You get in a course view. And essentially, right? Essentially, the idea is that so now we're not yet building, but this is kind of the low fidelity stuff, right? So you're gonna have a course like this. You're gonna enroll in a course, and this is a different view. Right now, we're building the dashboard for the authors to build the course, and then we're just gonna present that in the courses page. So that's gonna be separate. So there's a view to maintain the courses and build them for the authors, and then there's the view for those to consume them, right? So that's why I'm saying eventually, a couple of days. In a couple of days, this guy is gonna be like in a way this is just like a boxy layout, right? But you're gonna have you're gonna have a concept of a course, then you're gonna have sections. You're gonna write multiple sections, then each section is gonna have a lecture, and then as you click on those lectures, right, the video changes. If there's a video, it's optional, or an image, and then obviously the text and the rich text, right? That is the idea behind it, right? And it was inspired obviously by Udemy, and I just researched a bit, but that's what it is, right? That's what it is. So we need to, what do we need to finish? Is this, no, so is actually update working at all? So I don't think it is. Let me see. Yeah, so update is still calling the create, right? So that's the problem, obviously, right? So it seems that we forgot in a way, and I kind of despise that a bit. Well, I actually despise and a bit, those two words, they don't necessarily go together. Despising as something a bit, it's like, it doesn't make sense. But anyway, I can have that internal discussion in my mind later on. Thank you very much, Mutant, for Mutant Spoo, for whatever it is called, following. Yeah. All right. So yeah. So let's do some modifications, right? So here we have to say, hey, if there is data, right, then it's an update, right? So update, we'll see how I want to write this. It's like, either way, it's not horrible or anything. It's horrible. I dislike this sort of stuff, right? Either way, we're gonna, await here for handle updates, right? And it's gonna be pretty much the same, right? Still gonna take the section ID. Well, actually, it's not the same. It's gonna take the section ID. It's gonna take the lecture ID if we're talking about, yeah. Well, actually, I guess it's gonna be data ID, right? Then that, right? Then we're gonna do the same here. It's pretty much something like that, right? And then this should be handle update, right? Handle update instead, right? We could have turned this into like a handle submit or something like that as well, right? And then, but either way, you would combine some logic at one point in the code base, right? So this is fine. This is actually better. At least we have separated the actual handlers, the services, right, that are gonna get called. So that's perfectly fine, right? And we have to do the same crap, right, in the sections as well. I'm gonna pretty much do the same here, right? We're not really we're not waiting for anything here, but because I guess we're not clearing the form in this case, and that's wrong, so we have to do that anyway. So let's say here, yeah, do this, right? I do not. No, I use LinkedIn. I use LinkedIn heavily because LinkedIn is, you know, I have a very good network on LinkedIn. I have a lot of CTOs, which are my references, CEOs and stuff. So from that perspective, oh, this is the section, right? Okay. So I guess it's just gonna be the ID of the section, right? Wait, let me ban this piece of shit. I just hate those bots. Like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, LinkedIn I have for many years, right? LinkedIn is the actually only platform I have, and so yeah, I have my LinkedIn is pretty good. Yeah, I like my LinkedIn. Yeah, what is to say? LinkedIn is at least still not completely useless, right? But LinkedIn is pretty horrible as well. But it's not completely useless, right? At least like Facebook and Twitter and those platforms. Those platforms are disgusting and they should not exist, right? Like if I'm asked, I would remove both of those platforms and save the humanity from disaster, right? But you know, that's just me. That's just me, right? It's absolutely disgusting, right? It's inhumane to be there. Inhumane completely. All right, cool. So we'll also need some. So probably we'll want people to be able to edit the course name as well, right? So in a nutshell, right, we could basically use content editable or something, or just swap, you know, make the text, right? But what we could do, I guess, where the hell that is? Where is it? Where's the actual JSX? Yeah, it's over here, right? So here we could say contents editable, right? And pretty much here as well, right? And we could programmatically, of course, control that, right? But in simple words, right? We could expose this to be editable, right, as well. And I think we will, right? Because you should be able to say, hey, I want this to be called something else, right, as well, right? Well, it's not the social platform that's toxic, it's the people that are idiots, right? The world is full of morons, right? So that is the problem. So no matter how, I mean, I hope that this thing is not going to turn to shit, this platform that I'm building, because I would just remove it all, right? And I wouldn't care, you know. But people are generally idiots, right? And that's how it is. What can you do about it? How do you explain to an idiot that how do you explain to a stupid person that they're stupid, right? You can't. That's a paradox, right? So you can just hope in your life that you don't meet those stupid people, and that's all, right? It's very hard to explain someone, right? No, it's just yeah, it's just like funny how every amazing thing that human beings create, all of those miracles, you're gonna have some idiot that's gonna shit on it. Like, you have this chat GPT miracle, which is like amazing, and then you have those idiots who are shitting on it. You have video games, you know, you have those poor game developers spending 5 years of their lives building some shitty game, and then you have those idiots complaining that they don't have the content because they play 24 hours a day, right? It's just ridiculous, right? Okay, so that's actually pretty good, right? Just world full of morons, completely just ridiculous, man. Jesus Christ. Okay, great, so that's actually pretty good. Where's my delete thing? Yeah, okay, So actually, we should probably as well. Yeah, so we should probably do this async on that as well, right? So let's async on that as well, and let's do this too, right? So this is what is this lecture, right? Yeah. So we need to clear those fields, right? So if I do this and delete, it should clear the field. Yeah, exactly, right? So let's do the same. I mean, yeah, I'm just obviously playing a bit role here, trying to be fun. Probably I failed at that, but at least I tried. But yeah, I mean, it's genuinely, right? No matter what type of product you build, right? You're always gonna have people who are just by nature socially completely just morons, right? It's you cannot. There's nothing you can do about that, right? You can just what can you do, right? You can just. You can't, right? You can just hope that the majority of people are going to be normal, right? And that is the thing is, in every platform, every nation, every country, you have a fraction of people who are just idiots, right? Now, those countries that do better are those countries that have high number of people who are actually normal and low number of people who are idiots. And some people have more idiots than the other half, right? So, and it's the same with products. And problem with Twitter is that most people are idiots there. There's no reason. When I started this project, I didn't set it up with TypeScript. There's zero reasons, really. Almost no reason. That's probably a statistic that you pulled out of your butthole, right? But I mean, we are all idiots at the end of the day, I guess, right? Maybe, right? I don't know, man. You focus on your own life, right? All the best thing we can do for ourselves, right? Is just the focus on ourselves, and you know what else can we do, right? What else can I do? I cannot change anything other than myself and my wife, my kid. So what can I do? I can focus on my own world, my own little world that I've created, right? And this is not an open source project, no. And it's never gonna be open source, unfortunately. So, just FYI. So we'll need some spinners for sure, right? So we'll need some detail as we narrow those features down, right? Let me just see how many people have signed up throughout this stream. Did actually anyone say? Okay, a few people have signed up, yeah. Nice, okay, cool. What the hell happened there? What? How did we end up having add lecture twice? Did I is it like a copy paste of some sort or something? What happened here? Yeah, that's like, what the hell did we do? What happened? There's for sure some glitch. Did we somehow manage to create like an entity without a title or something? I presume, right? No, no, maybe I have somehow managed. I mean, that's good. That's this is amazing. I mean, if we can discover bugs like this, if it is a bug, that's good. That's what we want, right? So if we did cause a bug, that's a good thing, right? Because we want to catch it early. Title. Yeah, so the title is empty. So that's what happened. Good, good. And we should not be allowing that. So how did we allow that? So let's go to section form right over here. So title. Yeah, because our schema is kind of shitty. Well, we are requiring the title, right? But we're not having any min length on it, right? So let's say here min, let's say, min length. I don't know, let's say 45. Let's just test it, right? And then let's do our error message stuff. All right, so let's try this again. So it's still not enforcing the title stuff. Let's see. That's actually quite awkward. Yeah, okay, so it's not. Okay, let's see what's happening. And this is a section form. Okay, so wrong thing that I'm testing. Okay, title must be at least 5 characters. Okay, that's good. All right, good. And okay, we don't want to enforce the description, I guess, and that's okay. Let's do the same pretty much for let's just use some arbitrary values for now, right? We don't actually care. Then we'll figure this stuff out. And then let's do the same for the lecture form. So we're gonna do this fella over here, and we're gonna say, yeah. All right, cool. So now we shouldn't be able actually to do that anymore. Let's go ahead to our backend, right? Let's inspect our database here. Let's find the sections, so course section, right? And let's remove the ones without a title, right? This one doesn't actually have a title, right? So remove that. Let's also remove a bunch of this gibberish here, right? And let's go to lectures, right? So we have few lectures we've created without the title, right? So that's the problem. Great. Leo, man, love you, man. Thank you very much for being around. I'll catch you up tomorrow. I'm gonna be streaming tomorrow as well, so come around if you're around. And as always, thanks for being here, dude. Appreciate it. All right, so I think let's try now. So yeah, that's pretty good. Good. Awesome, dude. Have a good night. I'm gonna leave in like 10 minutes as well. I'm gonna leave soon as well, and just get some rest. It's been a long day at well. I've been at the Google offices today. We had some events there, so it was pretty fun. Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. Okay, so we have this state now. We can clearly see, right? So probably in the morning I'm gonna fix some of those glitches now that we've, and then yeah, we're gonna. No, no, it's Gretch. It's Gretch. Zan, thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. You can actually hear it. Let's try. Give me a second. No metal now. I can. My kid is my kid is sleeping, right? So I cannot plug this in. Okay, give me a second. Let's try to. But this is a Gretch. I'll show it to you in a second. So let's do this properties, microphone. I don't know how well you can actually hear it. How long? 25 years. But I just wanted to show it to somebody asked about it, right? Somebody asked it, and it's a Gretsch. So it's a really good guitar. It's a jazz guitar. No, it's a Gretsch. It's a Gretsch. All right, where is this thing? So let's round up. Let's call it a night. It's almost 11:30 here. Let's call it a night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much for being around. If you're around tomorrow, I'm gonna stream, so just come around and let's hang out. Otherwise, it's gonna be some other time, wherever that is, whenever that is. My pleasure, guys. Thank you for being here. And thank you for asking about the guitar, Peter. Yeah, that was a good. It's a good time to take a guitar a bit and play. Awesome, guys. Have a good night. Obi, there's always another time, so it's gonna be. I'm not going anywhere. So yeah. Have a great one, guys. Enjoy yourselves and take care of yourselves. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.